is so fucking sensitive?
I really want to get somebody in here, just have Mo sit here and be like, I don't understand. I don't
seriously,
get it.
People here in the U.S. are very fucking sensitive and just keep labeling shit.
Hello?
Like, fuck that.
Yo.
Yo, you on the mic?
If you're listening, just listen.
Oh, y'all shooting live right now?
Oh, man, we're shooting right now. Hold on. I got another one for you. Hit him with the other one, Luke.
Ooh, weed. Luke smoked that weed, nigga.
Oh, you guys are great. What's going on? What you doing the podcast on?
We're just a little 30-minute segment, bullshitting, jumping in, talking about news. Just killing 30 minutes. Some entertainment, you know, keeping the mics warm here. What's up with you?
Nothing, man. I'm actually sitting at the Kush spot in Miami Gardens across from the stadium. Shout out to Kush and the Kush family. Right across right behind Denny's next to Lorna's.
Goddamn.
Yeah, so I came over here to see the family. We're doing a little business.
Nice.
I wish I could be on the podcast with y'all, but I appreciate you calling me. What's up, Luke?
I'm here, man. How's it going?
That's good, man. We gotta get that video thing so I can see y'all.
Oh yeah, we could have done it. Shit, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, we got that capability too.
I'm sure.
I mean, not via Bluetooth. We could just do it on FaceTime, probably.
We just FaceTime.
Oh, that's what's up. See, big shouts out to Theology Podcast. Hit us up, tap in, set an appointment.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you. The subject. Hit us up, man. If you slide back up this way.
Huh?
Hit us up if you come back up this way.
Yeah, for sure. When I finish here, I'll hit you up.
Bring the Kush family.
Bring the Kush family. All right.
Bubba, OG, bring them all. Bubba, OG, every single one of them.
OG, Runts, Obama Kush.
Papa Kush.
Papa Kush.
Oh, man.
That's what's up. All right, y'all. I'll hit you up when I finish here, though. I'll hit y'all when I leave.
Right,
y'all have a good podcast.
We will. Luke, this is a good subject. I know you probably like.
I don't like that intro. Go ahead.
Mini Mac Pro, the Mac Studio.
Oh, there's a new one?
Yeah. Heard anything about it?
No.
Mini
Mac Pro?
I think it was yesterday. Yeah, if you want to pull it up, it's actually pretty good. It's got some
do
crazy specs. Like $4,000 almost.
Really?
Mini Mac Pro.
Yeah. It's called Mac Studio. Just look at Mac Studio. It's all over the YouTube right now. All the tech guys are putting it out there. Yeah, like it goes $2,000 all the way to $4,000. Look at that. Shoot.
What entire nation?
This computer's gonna fucking figure out time traveling for you and shit.
I mean, it better do something. It's a mini and it's 2 to 4.
Yeah, 2 to 4,000. Actually, that's without the monitor. I heard if you get the monitor.
Well, yeah, that's my point. Is it's a mini? Like it doesn't come with anything.
It's just a fucking device.
But it's pretty strong.
It's a box.
It's fucking strong.
It's a box and a box.
It's a powerhouse. 20 core. Yeah, 64 core.
Renders that dropped just a day before this event. It's under 8 inches wide and 3 inches tall. And take a look at the ports on the front. We've got 2 USB-C ports alongside a UHS-2 SD card slot. And this is unprecedented for a mini Apple desktop, and probably one of its most
vibration
features so far. The regular M1 Mini obviously has no ports on the front.
Oh man, that's really exciting. Well, that's pretty cool.
Oriented as Mac Studio. But the overall look of Studio is pretty similar to the standard Mac Mini. But in addition to the new ports, the Studio has an entirely new cooling solution. As you can see, we've got a bunch of these Mac Pro-like cheese grater holes that offer the cooling that this machine is going to need. As you know, the Mac Mini only has that singular exhaust on the back for cooling, so the performance in that arena isn't quite up to par, but at the same time, the standard M1 chip doesn't really need the same kind of cooling that M1 Max and M1 Ultra do. When you compare the ports on these two machines, there's pretty much no comparison here. And it almost
just when I think Apple is at its end.
The M1 Mini is rocking just 2
comeback.
Thunderbolt ports with 2 USB-A ports, an HDMI port, gigabit Ethernet, or can be spec'd to 10 gigabit Ethernet, and a headphone jack. The Mac Studio, on the other hand,
he's saying the
has 2
opposite.
different port setups. The base model with M1 Max has those 2
That means there's less
USB-C ports
options
front,
with the ports now.
alongside an SD card slot. and on the M1 Ultra
How is that
version,
coming back?
these two ports are Thunderbolt enabled, giving the M1 Ultra
Well, no,
version
I
a
meant
total of
mainly
6
coming back because of the
Thunderbolt ports.
GPU
You've got
chip,
4 Thunderbolt
M1.
ports on the back, alongside
The fact that it's basically doing almost its own cooling compared to what's in this one right now, that's pretty dope.
So if you need all the Thunderbolt 4 ports you can get, the Mac Studio is definitely the better way to go. Now we get into the most interesting part of this device, the chipset. The base Mac Studio is rocking the base M1 Max chip that debuted in the MacBook Pros last fall. So it's got that 10-core CPU and 24-core GPU, compared to the Mac Mini's 8-core CPU and 8-core GPU. The Studio's also got double the memory bandwidth
it's the Mac Studio.
400 gigabytes per second of memory bandwidth. So for both CPU and GPU performance, the Studio is going to dominate the standard M1 chip for most intensive tasks. And then this Mac Studio can be equipped with the all-new M1 Ultra chip, which at its lowest end comes with a 20-core CPU with a 48-core GPU
I'm never getting out of
and
that.
a 32-core neural engine. This M1 chip is essentially the M1
Be a slave to my credit card to the end of the days.
Slave to
That's a good subject.
Apple.
I'm the same way in the studio.
Yeah,
At
least it's going somewhere. Yeah, at least it's going. At least you can see it.
Yeah.
You have assets and shit. So you have value. But
Actually, are they acid though?
I don't know. Is it?
I mean, I know how to use the shit, so it's an asset to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's mostly its liability, to be honest.
Apple. Everybody here is an Apple player, right? I'm the only one with a Samsung.
Yeah.
As far as phone?
I'm always
No, I'm Android.
Android. It's
Samsung
funny how
as
it's
well.
funny how like I literally met girls where they're like, oh, you don't have an Apple phone, an iPhone. I'm like, no. Oh, I can't send you pictures. I'm like, well, bitch, there's WhatsApp. You can email
Well,
it.
you can send pictures. You just can't really send videos.
Yeah, I don't know. It's some people make a big deal. What's the whole
Isn't
point?
the MMS actually takes? You can send videos and images.
You can send images without it compressing it to a point of destroying whatever it is you were trying to send. Whereas with videos, it'll send, but what comes across is maybe
Totally
like a
different
fraction
shitting.
of the resolution.
Okay. Because multimedia actually. That's the multimedia. What stands
It'll
for?
get there. It's just how much
MMS
it's
is-
compressing.
It's gonna lose some type of.
Like there's no lossless sending.
Okay. It gets bad.
Yeah, Apple's user friendly, man. It's pretty cool to have an Apple phone, but I don't know. I've
It's
always
called actually
loved
the
Android.
dumb people phones. Which
What,
is just
Apple?
yeah, because it's so easy to deal with. I dealt with Android for a long time, but
But that's
I
what
always
that's
get-
what makes Apple Apple. It's like supposedly everything across the board you can do, and one I don't know that to me that's not true because like
to me, Apple is Amazon, and like in the digital market
Well,
or like media. Or
yeah, really
shit
look
like
what's going on with me right now. I can barely recover an email or a password from Apple.
Yeah, because like
It's
they're
like pulling
so
teeth with
so
them.
tight. Yes, they're so tight when it comes to like
Security.
Apple products. Then you cannot download anything out of that Apple circle, unless if you want to jailbreak the phone, and that is a fucking tedious job.
Last time I saw somebody try to jailbreak anything on the iPhone, and I was literally helping. We're trying to root the phone for this application. It just went Chinese. When I mean literally Chinese, I mean Mandarin, dude. Like I didn't know how to bring it back. The guy got so pissed at me. I was like, after that, I'm not doing this ever again.
Damn.
Yeah. What do you do after that?
Fuck it.
It's
Just
completely different language. Like, where do you start?
Google Translator.
Well, yeah, well, Google Translate, and we'll start with open and back. I need open and back, forward and back, enter. Let's get the fundamental buttons out the way. So more or
Yeah,
less,
Apple is just fucking kind of like they jail you. That's a prison.
there's a lot of
much.
Apple subscribers, and they're keeping it all in house. And this is how they're doing
I
it.
love Apple products. I have iPad, I have iPhone, I have MacBook Pro.
But they're
every
doing it.
single
They're doing
new
it
device
smart
that-
because they're hitting every target of entertainment for you, and you don't have to go anywhere else. That's what they're doing, basically.
I hate the fact that you cannot download anything outside of Apple Store unless if you
No.
if you jailbreak it.
Once you start letting third parties come in, then you can take chances of
They
losing
as a,
that
I
security.
think as a third party, you have to apply to Apple, and Apple has to approve you, so you can add whatever you want to add to Apple Store. But you just simply cannot download anything out of there.
Yeah, screw
It's
that.
not like Android system. You
Yeah, I just
can't-
go to my phone. I'm like developer options, open to third parties, and I download all this shit. And I'm like, let's see what happens.
Yeah. That's it gives you the freedom.
Let's see if
Like
it crashes. You know?
Apple doesn't. Apple just they will limit you with whatever.
I like
That's-
on here. I download what's that? Cinema HD. I watch all the movies on here. Like, dude, the fuck can't do that on Apple. That sucks.
That's what. The time that I canceled like Apple. I had third generation, or the first generation. I think the third generation Apple. I had that, and then I wanted to download the Flight Simulator, a game. It's just a fucking game.
You couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it in Apple, so I was like, fuck this.
You
and
sure
I
it
got
wasn't
me
because your name was Muhammad?
probably it could be.
You know. You
And
never
I
know.
was in Saudi Arabia.
That'd be really. And you were in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah,
Fuck
so
you, Mo.
at that time,
What's
yeah,
wrong
so-
with you, dude? What's wrong with you, man?
But and then
Then
I
after that, you Googled C4.
no, I got HTC.
HTC, yes, sir. That's from. Are they from the UK or Germany or something
No,
like
I
that?
think they are.
High tech computers or something like that. That was one of my first.
HTC is from not China. What China is
No,
colonizing?
They're European.
No,
They're not Asian, I think.
I think they are Asian.
Though I was buying HTC before iPhone, when iPhone dropped its first Apple phone.
Yeah, I had my first, and then I had to.
I haven't heard that. We used to HTC allowed us-
Taiwan. There you go.
Taiwan.
That's a Taiwanese
I remember
company.
HTC was like the first phone I ever had with GPS in it. Like that's unheard of on any phone. And we used to
HTC.
take jet skis and
I
put the
used-
phone in a Ziploc bag.
I used to fucking love their products, man. They had like the best products.
Taiwan, huh?
Yeah. And like I forgot the name of the country, and I was like, "What is that country? They're being colonized by China."
Which
Don't even say that, dude.
But yeah, so
Oh, man.
I had that at that time, and then there where I download the Flight Simulator app, and then I started playing the fucking game. There where I hated Apple, and then time passes, and I got back to a fucking Apple again.
How many flight simulators did you have to? Let me ask you, while you were going to school to get your pilots, you had to do a flight simulator at some
It's
point.
not necessarily,
It's not necessary, right?
but I was
it
kinda-
helps.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
Very much. But I was like I'm into flying. You know, I love this shit. I love it like deeply. So I was like playing flight simulator games. I had a full setup of flight simulator, like yoke, throttle on my desk.
Damn, you had like the actual real like little cube, I think, whatever.
Yeah,
they
no, but
built.
that shit is so fucking expensive.
That hurts, like 7,000 to 14,000 or something like that, and they're building it themselves.
It gets to actually $100,000
What?
to build a flight simulator inside the yeah.
Might as well put wings on it. Fucking build a plane. at that
Buy
point.
a fucking plane.
Yeah,
Why you
100
want to dump all that money while you actually can buy a plane for $15,000?
Less chances of crashing, real crashing in a
True.
flight simulator.
And it's actually
the insurance is cheaper.
it's more sensitive than the actual flight.
Oh yeah,
That's
but it calculates everything, weather, the whole shebang,
Yeah.
altitude, everything.
yeah, and it's very very sensitive. So if you fly a flight simulator perfectly, following procedures and all that shit, flying is just piece of cake. So there where I started. Actually, I was a flight dispatcher and I was like flying flight simulator. When I came down here, in 7 hours of flight time, I did my solo, which is something that's unheard of.
Here's an honest question: what's the scariest moment you ever had on a plane?
Engine failure in El Paso, New Mexico.
Real engine failure.
Yeah.
Like
And-
engine just went completely out.
And I have like 3 people in the back, a dog, and bags, like luggages. The airplane was fucking heavy.
Bags, dog, then people first, right? In case.
Pretty much.
How much do you love this canine? It's you or him. I don't know which one to tell you. He's gonna jump out. So what happened? Just engine cut off.
Engine cut off, and then
You don't automatically start nose diving.
no.
Obviously,
You glide actually. You glide all the
Well,
way
you,
to
you
the.
put the nose up.
No, actually, you put the nose down, but not down. You just put it in a degree where you keep speed, certain speed,
Uh-huh.
to keep you gliding through the air.
What happens if you put the nose up?
You're gonna stall.
But you're not. I guess yeah, because you still have speed, right?
Yeah, you're gonna stall it, and then it's gonna drop like it's automatically gonna drop the nose down, and then it's gonna start building speed. Unless you cover it, or it's just gonna go down.
So I guess you gotta find like a midpoint so that we.
That's
keep
where
going
they give you like
parallel
a
to the
certain. Every
ground.
manufacturer they give you like a glide speed you have to maintain to give you the longest
That's crazy.
miles on the ground. Yeah.
So here's a plane, here's a manual, and this is where you gotta keep that degree in case you start going down.
Yeah, certain speed actually, because you have the airspeed and you just monitor that.
So you cut off the engine cut off.
I did my calculation.
Did you tell them? Did you tell anybody, or you just kept it to yourself?
The one next to me is actually I told him, but the one in the back, because they're kind of like far, so I was like, fuck it.
Yo, you're going straight down. You're like, it's
No,
all part of the show, guys. Don't worry about it.
I was about like 4 or 5 miles off the runway. There is a runway that actually I was heading to. I was coming from California, landed in El Paso to refuel, and then go to Texas. And then we had that problem there. I was super close to the airport, and that, thanks God, I had 5 engine failures since I started flying.
What the fuck, man?
And that was the
Is that
worst.
normal?
Yeah, I mean, yes, and no, it's not.
It's not.
It's not. It is not, to be
Oh,
honest.
man.
But you know what? I actually, when I started flying, I was wishing.
To have an engine failure?
Yes.
This conversation is just getting worse.
I swear to God. I swear to God, I was
Luke,
wishing
you gonna fly with Mo tomorrow?
to have an engine failure. But I had them. I had 5, and I'm here talking to you.
So the one in El Paso, engine cuts off. You tell who was that? The co-pilot or?
Co-pilot was a lawyer from California because he's a good friend of mine.
So you told him engine failure, right?
Yeah, I
now.
told him hey, he saw it, so he looked at me and he was like, "What the fuck?" I was like,
Was he like, is this part of training? Like, Mo, am I still in class?
He's a pilot too.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer, like big time lawyer in California.
So
and he's a
what
pilot
would
too.
cause engine failure, or do you know what caused engine
It was
failure?
actually fuel suffocation.
How does that happen? Sounds like a sexual problem.
Kind of to the engine, yes. I was flying. I'm taking care of the the piloting command kind of like tasks, and he's supposed to be doing communication and fuel selector change because we have to switch tanks, right?
Okay.
I told him, hey, our 30 minutes is up, switch tank. So I turned the fuel pump on, let it, I'm relying on him to kind of like switch the tank. And I'm just flying the airplane and looking outside, looking
He
at my
didn't switch the
runway.
tank?
He didn't switch
Oh
the tank.
my God.
So we got to a fuel suffocation. The engine quits, and I was like 4 or 5 miles out. And the airplane was so heavy. Because my calculation was like, we're going to make it to the runway. That's no issue. Because we had enough altitude, so we're going to glide it all the way down. Bitch was heavy. Motherfucker was sinking. I was like, oh, okay. I swear to you, the field is actually sitting on
So
it.
you never got the engine back on?
No.
Oh man, you had to glide all the way.
Yeah. So what happened? Here's what happened. The engine is the runway is actually sitting on like an edge of like a mountain, right? And we're coming this way, and then I swear
So
to God,
if you don't make it, you're gonna hit the mountain.
yes, 100%.
Oh my God.
So I don't know what happened, but the engine starts for like 10 seconds.
just gives you that extra push.
It gives me that extra power, and then it just dies back again.
That's your guardian angel.
I swear it got me to the threshold of the runway. I looked at the guy next to me. I was like, I'm gonna fucking punch you in the face.
Wow.
But yeah, we landed the airplane, switched the tank, started back up. It fires up.
Nobody knew anything.
Nobody knows. Yeah. I had engine failure over
Jesus.
Ocala, and I was with the radar, and they were like, I was like, radar, I want to terminate my flight following because I have engine failure. They were like, are you declaring emergency? I was like, nope. He was like, do you have engine failure? You said engine failure? I was like, yes, full engine
If you
failure.
declare emergency, what happens?
It's so long fucking procedure. You have to write reports and you have to do all that. If you feel like now you're gonna land in a highway somewhere, grass or whatever, then you have to file. Tell them that yes, emergency. I might crash, hit something, and I might just hurt myself or hurt people. In that case, file emergency. But I was like almost 10,000 feet, 10,500. so I can circle around to any field under me. And I landed in Ocala.
Oh wow.
No engine. I landed in, and then they're like emergency.
Where'd you land? Like middle of a field?
No, actually, I landed on the runway, and then
Okay.
I cleared the runway because I kept the airplane rolling, no brakes. I didn't apply brakes, so because I don't have no fucking engine, let it roll until I cleared the runway, and then that was it. It was fun. I like the challenges, so that's.
I mean, challenges are great, not when they're life-threatening.
They're not actually. You know, the problem is a lot of people think that they're scared of flying because what is the worst that's going to happen? Engine failure.
No,
Airplane actually
worst is gonna happen is it crashes and you die.
Yeah, but what it's going to lead to that crash is engine failure.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the rest of the problems are normal. The engine failure is the biggest problem, which is the biggest fear. And when that happens, the airplane is built to glide.
Yeah.
So tell the people, stop your whining ass.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Stop being a bitch. Get on the fucking plane.
Exactly. Jump in. The bitch can glide all the way to the ground.
You got parachutes in the plane?
No.
No, fuck it. It's going down. It's going down.
Have you seen the guy that... this is actually a good subject. Have you seen there is a guy, a YouTuber,
Oh, yeah.
who jumped out of the airplane
Yeah.
and got like a parachute, and he was like, "Oh,
They were saying he did it for the video, but
yeah.
and it's really fucked up.
100%." And now I think that the FAA, they're gonna fuck him bad
Yeah. Where did the plane end up at?
in a fucking mountain, right by like in California somewhere. This stupid motherfucker, Trevor Jacob.
What's his name?
Trevor
Jacob.
Yeah. He thought that's gonna be like, oh, it happens, engine failure. No, motherfucker, you shut down the fucking engine. And
It looks like go-kart. It looks like a go-kart inside there.
Yeah.
It's got like the go-kart wheels. You see the go-kart steering wheel?
Yeah. That shit is like in the 60s or 70s.
That's an
airplane.
old plane, isn't it?
Yeah. It built in the 60s.
That looks like it'll glide to fucking around the world.
And then they glide very good because everything. This is like.
Start walking out of here.
Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, look.
How do you feel, Mo? This is his first engine failure, and he jumps out. You stuck through 5 of them
Because he's a pussy ass motherfucker.
with no parachute.
It's all staged though. Like,
Yeah, of course.
All of this shit.
Yeah.
And he was actually going out.
If it was an emergency, you wouldn't have time to get the camera.
Exactly. He's getting the camera.
He put the parachute on before he got in the plane.
Plus, if you look on his right or left leg, he got a fire extinguisher under his pants. So he's prepared. And in the video, it doesn't show you that he's actually going through the procedure to kind of like check what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
The minute the engine quits, he opens the door. The first thing.
Put cameras everywhere. Oh,
Yeah.
man, it's fucked up.
And poor him, he's just like, mad that this shit happened. You know how much it's gonna cost taxpayers
To
to
clean
go
that
and
up?
fucking pick that shit up?
Yeah.
Because a dumbass motherfucker wants to jump out of
They
the
wouldn't
fucking
just leave it
airplane.
out there.
No, you have to.
I mean, I don't know. These questions I never even had to ask in my lifetime.
Because if NTSB got involved, they have to go and pick that shit up.
Now let's just say he couldn't fix it, and he went through all the procedures. I mean, at this point, there's a lot of mountains around. He's gonna have to.
You see the valleys, like whatever that shit called between the mountains.
Yeah.
He could have landed there. There are so many places around him he can land, but he chose not to.
Is it safer to parachute than to land the plane?
I think, in his case, no. His dumbass got hurt and cut himself.
You deserve landing in a thorn bush.
Yeah. Every single one in the general aviation community
Hates this guy.
cussed the fuck out of this motherfucker. Because now he's going to open a door for a lot of stupid motherfuckers to go up and do some stupid shit. And that is harming the community.
That's
So,
wild.
I don't know. This is the second guy actually, by the way. But the first one,
there's another guy that did this.
The first one didn't get that
much recognition,
exactly,
or that much clout.
Yeah, he's from California, and he was flying one of the airplane, like a very expensive airplane, and he has a girl with him, a model, and they dumped the airplane in the water.
They both dumped it.
Yeah.
You see, you should have kept her in the plane. It would have looked real.
Exactly.
You know, but people don't think like.
And wear jeans, motherfucker. Just wear jeans or regular clothes when you're like, dumping shit like that in the water. But like, flying an airplane.
He already had his survival kit. And everything.
It's like wearing a shirt and
was
like
it in the ocean?
Huh?
Was it in the ocean?
Yeah, in California.
So was that at least like it didn't have to be cleaned up, or was he at least thinking about the taxpayer a little bit?
No, if you dump it in the water, they cannot pick it up.
Well,
it's probably international waters anyway.
Huh?
It's probably international waters anyway, right?
No, he was actually very close to the beach. Yeah, he was flying, doing like a tour flight type of shit to the girl.
I mean, I won't lie. That sounds like a cool thing to do. Fly a plane and then jump out of it and then watch it crash. I do it in Call of Duty all the time. So I'm just saying, if I was to do anything in Call of Duty and bring it to real life, that would probably be one of them.
Yes, it's a fun thing to do, but do it when you have all the permission you want, and then that does not cause any harm.
Do it the right way
to the fucking community, because now, general aviation is already under fire for the longest time. All these crashes that happens, people like North Perry Airport, they want to delete that airport. The community around it, they're like voting against it, but
What's the main cause of crashes? What's the most popular cause for plane crashes right now?
Fuel suffocation is one of the highest actually number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuel suffocation, wrong fuel calculation. It's all mostly fuel related.
Wrong fuel calculation. So not putting enough fuel in the plane.
Exactly. Comparing to whatever, you're flying. Because
I bring like extra gas tanks, dude.
You can, but unless if you're carrying people, so you have to do the weight and balance.
You have to calculate.
So you have to give up something, either one of the passenger or you don't take full tanks somehow. So that's what leads. In weather condition, like low visibility, you don't see shit. People get disoriented and crash the airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
very easily to happen, huh?
Yeah, that's the very common, which is called VMC into IMC, and that's a very, very common cause of crashes. And the regular, the other stuff is just, it could be like some mechanical issues, which is
freak of nature type thing.
But it's hard. Like it's very rare for an airplane to kind of crash for mechanical issues.
Of course.
Mostly is human errors. Mostly is fuel calculation.
Why is that? Is that because they just check it all the time? Like they do.
Yeah, they have very, very strict rules when it comes to flying. Like Alex's airplane.
Yeah.
Now because we did the annual, and it's an FAA inspector coming in to check the airplane, is it airworthy to fly or not. So they come through and they check every single part of the airplane, and then they'll be like, hey, you need to change this, fix this, change this, fix this. If you don't change it, the airplane is not flying.
Well,
yeah. So, and that's just an annual for privately owned airplane. If you have the airplane for hire, like with a flight school or whatever, and then you have to check every 100 hour, plus the annual inspection, plus other shit. So.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's somewhat expensive, right? Cost to do this.
Yeah, and we're flying planes in the 60s and fucking 70s. You have to make sure those motherfuckers fly.
Yeah. No helicopters for you?
I did helicopter. I have like 3 hours of helicopter time, but I don't trust them.
I wouldn't trust somebody with 3 hours of helicopter time.
Like helicopters generally, I don't trust them.
Yeah, why?
You can't glide.
But I mean, I don't really hear too many of helicopter crashes, as many as I hear like the small plane crashes.
Because there are not too many helicopters.
There's more little planes than helicopters.
Mm-hmm. But like if it's the same number, you'll hear the crashes quite often.
Wow.
They don't glide. They have something called, to give them the credit, they have something called auto rotation that reduces the impact when you hit the ground.
How?
Before going, like when the helicopter is dropping, and then what they do, they turn the blade of the helicopter to a certain degree where it starts like rotating without even the need of power.
Oh, okay.
To reduce their...
Almost like have it on neutral and allow the wind to go ahead and...
Exactly.
Continue spinning.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that reduces the impact. But in that, if the helicopter is just falling straight down, if circling or doing some crazy shit, you're done.
Fuck.
That's why you need wings.
So, Mo's like, go get your wings.
Go get some fucking wings.
It's like crashes. It's like public record. Like,
Yes, absolutely.
so we can see which airports have the most crashes.
Absolutely.
Have you ever looked that up? Can we look that up? Is that something we can just pull up on the internet?
Yes, you can.
I mean, listen, what I'm asking you is that something we can pull up and you can pull up anything on the internet.
One of the South, like, in South Florida, one of the hottest airport that has a lot of crashes is North Perry Airport.
Yeah, I know, man. I told Lex about that.
But
I grew
comparing
up around that airport.
But comparing to the amount of takeoffs and landings,
Oh, yeah. I knew airflow was on there as in countries for Russia. That was, dude. I remember when I landed in Moscow, 0 visibility. I was freaking out. Like, how the fuck is this guy landing? Lady's like, we're landing in 1 minute. I forgot she said in Russian. Dva something. Da, da, da. I looked out the window. I'm like, it's all white. I'm like, I don't see shit. I'm supposed to see buildings. This is Moscow. Next thing it was like, I'm like, how the fuck?
yeah. They have something called Cat 3 instrument landing, so they land on like 0 visibility.
Fatal accidents, that's all the history, or as of May 2019, or what is this?
In South Florida, North Perry is one of the hottest, and Tamiami and Kendall.
Probably like private airports.
Yeah,
because that's what North Perry is.
That's actually pulling. Yeah. This is pulling like major
you want to
airlines.
try
general
private.
Aviation. Just write general aviation crashes.
Mo's already been there.
Yeah. You have to pull that because I teach it. So.
Hell yeah, pull this shit before I take off on the next airport.
Statistics. NTSB is the department that actually cares of. South Florida is well known with crashes.
Crashes?
Yeah. Because comparing to other state, South Florida is one of the biggest actually state that
so
produces
you're
pilots.
saying what was it called? Fuel suffocation and what else?
IMC to VMC to
so
IMC,
like
which is visual meteorological condition into instrument meteorological
So it's safe to
condition.
say majority of the crashes are like it's the user basically. It's the pilot.
It's pilot error.
Pilot error.
Yeah.
So we just got a lot of idiots out here that are not just following the rules.
No, I can't.
I was like, I'm not going there. Still gotta have lunch with them tomorrow. They're not idiots.
Really, but it's just like they simply just you cannot simply blame it on people. There are a lot of circumstances and conditions around you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're wrapping this up. Mo on the 1-2s. Anybody wants to fly with him? He survived 5 engine failures.
2 electrical failures.
And a marriage.
True.
I'll go to
And
war
that-
with you because of that. All right, till next time.
All right, y'all.